Let me clear my throat. What's up, everybody? It's a beautiful day here in New York City. Sun is shining. And I'm stuck in here in the studio. No, really, I'm just kidding. I'm happy to be here, of course. Who was first in the chat today? Kobanya 3000. Hey, what's up? Stereo Decor is here. Luminous Cloud with lots to say. Been swamped with work, huh? I feel ya. We got Acid Bat. Mycotondria? Or is it Mycotondria? Which one is it? And Itzy's in the house. And Karsten Becker, what's up? Luminous Cloud is popping and locking to our intro beat here. Yeah, this is one of my tracks on Tronic, a series of electro compilations that they do. Glad you like it. Thank you very much. All right. So if I can calm down from the popping and locking that's going on, you can't see it, but it's happening, I swear. Okay, thank you, Myco. Thanks for clearing that up. It's Mycotondria. Here we are on another Saturday here at 343 Labs, 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs. Let me just say 343 Labs one more time, and maybe 343 Labs again for good measure. Yes, I'm just going to keep saying it. And it's an Electro Day today on Selway's Techno and or Electro Saturdays. I really got to straighten that out. I know, it's so confusing, back and forth. Some of you guys are like, you want to hear me do the techno? Some of you guys, you want to hear me do the electro? Some of y'all like all of it, which is me. I'm down with that. I've been meaning, honestly, I've been like procrastinating forever. I want to update my titles for actually, I've had these same graphics going on for years now. Well overdue for a refresh. Just got to get it done. And I want to have like electro-specific titles too, right? I think that would be cool. So it's very clear to the viewers, especially the new ones. Welcome if you're new. Glad to have you. And as I always do, as it is part of my job description here, is talk about what 343 Labs is, music production school in New York City, in Berlin, and globally online. We teach it all. Well, we teach a lot of it. We have our Ableton Live music production courses. Whether you're a total beginner or you've got a little bit more experience and you want to just get deeper, we've got courses for you. We have Logic courses. Actually, someone who's watched the stream from Apple who works on Logic reached out to me and had some interesting things to say. And I'm hoping that, since we had Angel on doing his session and he works in Logic, and it would be good to be representative. I mean, I'm an Ableton Live guy, you know that. But it would be cool to reach out and show some other sides of the production application coin, right? I've had Carl Finlow on to play around with Bitwig, and he does a lot of amazing stuff. Obviously, all of you electro nerds out there know who I'm talking about. And yeah, it'd be great to have some more Logic stuff too, so hopefully that'll get worked out. So anyway, back to 343 Labs. It's been real busy. Up until this week, actually, it's been kind of a slow in between. It's the end of the quarter for our one-year program, so a bunch of courses just ended, and we're about to start another round, another quarter next week after this holiday weekend. And anyway, it's been amazing, like the kind of community that's built up around here. We just had an Ableton user group on Thursday night, met a lot of nice new people and some of the new students that are going to be coming into the one-year program upcoming in September. If you want to know more about all of that and what we do, if you're here in New York City and you want to come check us out and see one of our free events or one of our paid events, sometimes we have guests come in and, we have these kind of more pro master classes and things like that. You know what to do. Links in the description. Click on those links. Find out more about what we do. Sign up for a course. We're going to do another, I think we're going to do another Making Techno online course in June. I need to get those dates solidified, but that's going to be up there. So yeah, come join us. Come hang out. And if you're in Berlin as well, same thing. Or online, right? You don't have to be here in New York or Berlin. You can be wherever you want to be. What's up in the chat? Anyone else snuck in while I'm here blabbing? Minister Mitch is here. Hello. Mike Harding is here. Teun Rampa and Half God, Half Beast is here. Luminous Cloud is talking about Logic Pro X clip mode on iPad. Yeah, see, like there's some stuff. There's some cool stuff. Like people, Logic has added a lot of new capabilities, and also Logic has Alchemy. Alchemy is an amazing instrument, right? Just all manner of types of synthesis, and so it does some really amazing things. So if you want nowadays, if you want to use Alchemy, you got to have Logic. So yes. Hello, Dave Robson. Hello, DJ JD. Glad to have you. So it's an Electro Day, and a few weeks back, actually in February, there was this one Electro Saturday where I was trying to just do some sketches real fast, and I was trying out that kick drum plugin, and just and then that new SH101 clone, the Model 82, and I got like three track ideas started pretty quickly, and then the last time I did an Electro Day, it was sort of working more to add some more parts for one of them. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit and maybe work on one of the other sketches that I started last time. And then also, we kind of played, last week I brought out the Visco plugin, this new, here, let's look at it. This guy, just to kind of, someone mentioned it in the chat and I had just bought it. Like I was like, I'll support this. This thing's cool. So, maybe we'll do another sketch, maybe play, because I was playing around with it with this kind of more deep dubby, chill techno track. The whole time thinking, wow, this is going to be great for electro. So I think making some electro beats with these crazy morphing drum sounds, and I was thinking, we can drag and drop samples into this thing, and like it analyzes them and resynthesizes them, which is dope. And then you can morph from one sound to another sound. There's some definite cool possibilities with this thing. So yeah, we might play around with that a little bit more today, because I think it looks really cool. Y'all are still talking about Alchemy. Luminous Cloud, you still have the old plugin version? I wish I had it. I don't have it. That would have been great to have the old version. It still runs, right? Like you can still, it should run on modern updates, especially on PC. I feel like PC, like old PC apps and plugins last longer somehow. Musica Electroorganica is asking, what's your opinion about Reason? I think Reason, it's pretty awesome. I used to use it a long time ago, a lot more often. But I never got into it as a standalone DAW. I would like go in there, do some audio processing, do some synthesis, generate some parts, export those as audio, and then bring them into the DAW, the DAW that I was working with. Even back pre-live, I was using Nuendo and Cubase. There was also, what do they call it? Rewire. So you could have Reason running and your DAW running at the same time and have them synced up and having audio and MIDI routed back and forth. I used to do that. So just basically using Reason like plugins or effects processing. But I never really got into using it as a sequencer. And now, of course, it can run as a plugin inside of another DAW, which is cool. But yeah, I think there's some really amazing instruments. What's the physical modeling instrument called? There's like a newer synth, a physical modeling synth in Reason that looks really, really cool. I kind of want to go back to that and check it out, because there's some really good sounds coming out of that program. But again, I haven't really used it fully, so I can't give you a full opinion on it, other than I think it sounds good, and it's got some great instruments and some great synths. Nice. So that's my opinion about Reason, for what it's worth. And we've had Lag is a Reason user, Commissar Lag now. I would love to have him back on the show, actually. Commissar Lag, if you're out there, if you're watching this, let's do it again. Let's have you back. Let's talk about Reason and see what you love and what you don't love. I think I saw some very critical posts from Commissar Lag on Facebook about things he was unhappy with propeller heads and Reason. I don't remember the details, but maybe he'll come back on and talk about it. Josh Holiday had to make a beer run. Dude, I made a coffee run. I made a terrible deli coffee run. And I'm a coffee snob. I have like a nice espresso machine at home, and I buy fresh, locally roasted espresso beans, and I nerd out about tamping and WDT distribution techniques and making the perfect shot. I still can't do latte art very well though. But I also am not so much of a snob that I won't go for the good old New York City corner deli bad coffee if I need a caffeine jolt. All right. Let's make some noise. I've been talking too much. We're already starting a half an hour later than usual, so let's see where we're at here. A lot of low end on that kick drum, right? A lot of deep sub. How's the level on the sound? Can you hear me talk over it? Sounds good? I'm just gonna do the shimmy here in my chair for a little bit while I think about this. All right, let me cut those kick drums out, those intense kick drums out for a second. And we've got the SH-101 clone, the Model 82 going here. The sequence is inside, right? So I come on, show me what you got. There we go. Thank you, Half God, Half Beast, for saying that the sound is cool. Glad that that level is all right. So yeah, I'm using the step sequencer, the SH-101 style step sequencer here in the synth. Karsten Becker was asking, can you work with the step sequencer VST? Is Stepic? Is that like a typo? Or is there actually something called Stepic sequencer? But this is a step sequencer, and I entered in these notes one by one, and it is synced with the DAW. So like I'm getting 16th note pulse from the DAW clock, and I have the transpose on, and that's something I always used to love to do with the SH-101 is like enter in a bunch of notes and then hit the transpose button and do like chord sequences, kind of progressions by transposing the pattern up and down. And that's a pretty typical thing to do now with MIDI controllable step sequencers, is to real-time transpose them. See, this is just, okay, now y'all are schooling me. There is a sequencer, a plugin called Stepic, best sequencer out there. Yeah, all right, maybe another day, but thanks for letting me know about that. Let's actually, Stepic VST by Device Meister. I accept. Whoa. Okay. I mean, this looks pretty intense. I'm up for the challenge. I like my step sequencers. So yeah, I will check this out, and maybe we'll show it on the stream one of these days. But for now, we're just using the simple one note at a time, not very complex step sequencer inside of the Model 82. And to start with, I have a MIDI clip, and this is doing the transposing. Kind of wandering around a little bit, but somehow I resolved it back to the start with a weird whole step down here. Not trying to be a pop song here. I'm happy with this. I was trying to think, like, what else do I want to add? I think I want to keep this stripped down, and I know what'll happen. I'll start arranging it and think of things to add to it. So, all right, so there's that. I have a couple little variations on the drums. Let me pump this up. I'm gonna feel it. All right, I also have I've been using fragments. I've just been putting granular effects on things. I like to, make relatively simple sounds and then add stupid effects to them to give them little details or to make them sound more modern or whatever it is. You know, a synth like this sounds like 1982, but you put granular synthesis on it and it's like a whole nother level. And, you know, you'll remember a few weeks ago I was doing the same thing. So right now it's just doing kind of a grainy reverb, which is cool. And whoa. Some of these presets are nuts. The idea I'm thinking is like I'm gonna try to generate some different parts and layers and things to add into the arrangement using just the effects, right? Before I start adding a bunch of other new elements. Like this. Like that's totally deconstructing it. It's just it's real-time time stretching like individual notes. Like I feel like I should capture that to audio is what I think I should do. So, you know, some of this is going to be like just a little bit of resampling and generating variations that we can play around with when it comes time to arranging. Is that the right track? Yes, it is. Arm the track. Got that kind of broken up, scattered, grainy, slightly lo-fi effect happening. It's almost following the progression as well. And I'm not going to use this whole thing as is. I would have to chop it up and use just parts of it sometimes. But let's let it run for a minute. All right. Getting more plugin recommendations in the chat. Luminous Cloud is recommending ODC. Audio Damage, right? They're amazing. That's a new drum machine, right? Oh no, that's granular. I'm sorry. I'm getting mixed up with my Audio Damage plugin. I remember you mentioning this plugin ages ago, or one of you in the chat mentioning this plugin ages ago. I haven't checked it out, but yeah, awesome. Sounding cool, weird delay plugin, right? But isn't there a new Audio Damage drum machine? Yes. AD057 Axon 3. The Axon 3 is some kind of crazy drum machine. And you know we like our drum machines. So this is another one I need to maybe check out for a future stream. And let's see. Marley, welcome. Finally caught me live. Appreciate you. Glad to have you here. And all right, let's get back to what's happening in this weirdness. All right, so I've captured some of this granular madness coming out of the fragments. Let's see what else we can find, what other variations we can get. And I mean, I know how to use this thing. I said this before, but like I really enjoy just preset surfing because there's so many good, crazy presets in here. I can always like modify them if they sound kind of cool, but do one thing I don't like. But oh, let me. Why am I annoyed? It's because I'm playing the audio that I just recorded by mistake. All right, so the DMB randomizer, it's like a beat slicer. Sounds really nice on the sequence. I'm gonna maybe capture some of this to have some fills and edits and things that I can drop in sometimes. So yeah, let's do it. I like the really fast ones, the fast glitchy ones. Tinkle Tink is recommending Grain Dad. Yeah, that's another one I've heard about that I haven't checked out yet. There's just too many plugins out there, right? I just can't keep up. And Luminous Cloud likes Axon 3 for donks. Okay. Nothing wrong with a donk. Okay, probably have enough of that. We'll do one more little pass through of the progression. And done. Let's find some more. I'm a sucker for the spacey reverby ones though. I just want to let those play the whole time. That just sounds like a cool delay with some glitchiness to it. Maybe I won't bother recording that one, but I'll think about, oh, this one's nice. Just panning, reversing graininess. I'm gonna record this all the way wet, right? None of the dry signal in there. That's nice. All right, Metaphase is talking about another new plugin. It's new plugin recommendation day today. You're talking about Beam. Is it a... Who makes it? There's all these different things called Beam. Lunacy Audio, is this it? Okay. Interactive Effects Playground. With this minimal futuristic space interface. Speaking of minimalistic space interface, which is my new album. That's the name of my new album, right? All right, let's stop this madness. All right, let's find another preset. I mean, after a while, they all kind of started to sound the same because it's just grain. But sometimes one will really stand out to me as being really cool. Like this one's really cool. It's kind of changing it musically too, because there's a harmony in it. All right, I'm just looking for ideas. That's what I'm looking for. Who knows if I'll end up using all of these, but I'm just going to keep resampling these weird variations of my sequence. It's a little wandering around, like it's cool sounding, but also not sure. I'm gonna do it anyway. It's getting like a little more abstract and IDM-ish sounding now with this sequence. I still like it. We'll see. All right, let's stop that one. How long can I carry this on? What? Whoa. All right. There was a couple I was trying out before I started streaming and now I've forgotten which ones they are, so I'm just going to try to find them, and then we'll move on. All right, let's take a break from these kick drums for a second. I realize that's probably pretty oppressive to hear intensely forever and ever without any arranging. Too much. So many cool presets in here. Really like those grain cloud reverb things a lot. So, you know, just gonna have to decide eventually. What? Okay. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I'm being very self-indulgent today, making you listen to me go through presets. Let's just stop and think about what we're going to do next and what you guys are talking about in the chat. Hey, it's Max Wild, our fearless leader here at 343 Labs. Hey, Max, you're not just catching the end of the show. I actually started at 1:30 today, so you're getting most of it if you want to hang out. And glad you're here. Metaphase, yeah, that could be the title of your next track. Grain gain. There's so much granular stuff going on. Let's see, you're all talking about the plugins, and the plugins are the record covers of the scene now, probably. Yeah, I mean, what was this we were just looking at? What kind of artwork is this? Is that AI generated? I mean, I hope this thing sounds really good, because honestly, I think the interface is a little but I will check it out for another day. So many different ideas came out of Fragments since I loaded it. And yeah, that's the point. I mean, this wasn't supposed to be a, hey, let's do Fragments things today, but I really enjoy playing around with granular audio effects. And you're right, some of those other ones like Grain Dad and this one we were just looking at, we definitely want to check those out and expand. I've been thinking about getting Portal. Portal looks amazing as well. There's so many interesting granular processors out there now. So, but this is the one I've got right now. And all right, so let's listen to this again. I'm not done finding variations with the grain stuff, but I kind of want to see, let's see if we can, keeping this very simple, I'm going to force myself into the arrangement view a little bit and start giving this some structure, and then hopefully that'll help me decide where it needs to go. Also, I'm kind of deliberately, I want to keep these electro sketches that I've been doing, that I've been starting lately, I want to keep them kind of stripped down and not overcomplicated. And here I am like granularizing everything, which can sound overcomplicated. I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to use little bits of it at some point. But I want to keep the number of layers and the arrangement, the structure relatively stripped down, and then just concentrate on the groove and the feeling, and then add in details as necessary. So, I mean, is this enough? Are like 2 drum beat variations, 1 kick drum, and like a synth enough? This actually, in this audio clip that's been here the whole time, I'm not even using that. That's actually another variation. Another time when I was playing with this synth, I was running it through some effects and doing some modulation, and so this is another variation I have to play with maybe. All right, let's get rid of the fragments for a second. All right, let's just force it into the arrangement view. I'm not even ready yet. I'm just gonna start recording myself playing with it. And hopefully something will come out of it. See, I already made a mistake. I wanted to start on, let's start without the snare drum. And probably, all right, I'm already editing myself. Maybe I do need to think ahead a little bit on the structure. All right, so let me just back that up. And I've got synth, not playing the full sequence, just the first chord, right? And then I have a variation of that. We'll bring the snare drum in. But I think I want to bring that in at the same time as the kick drum. So let's see. Maybe we'll start without the hi-hats. I know it seems like nothing's happening, but I'm imagining other things happening in my head. Here we go. Yes. Straight in with the kick and the snare. It's heavy. Okay. Let's see what happens. Some other musical thing is going to have to happen before this change, but I'm going to go back and figure that out later. All right, just let's see what happens. All right, no. I guess adding in the effects is going to have to be a little bit more deliberate and careful than that. I can go back and get rid of that. All right. Back to just the first note of the sequence. Like I said, keeping it really simple. Take out the busier hi-hat pattern. Another thing I should be doing is playing around with the synthesizer. I'll probably go back and do some modulation on top of this. But let's just play around a little bit while we're grooving. Bringing the fast hi-hats again, and this is what I should have been doing the whole time. Got the LFO. We got the modulation for the pitch. Those are the things that I need to be performing, right? Let it get noisy. All right, I can see, I know it just suddenly got really rough sounding. But, okay. Okay. I need to get this under control. Okay. I gotta bring this down to earth, right? So that's something. I was like, let's stop the sequence from playing, but the clip doesn't stop the sequence. I have to actually turn it off here. That's all right. That's another idea for the arrangement, is to have the synth go away and just do like a rockin' drum section. Okay. Beatsy has to go. Nice to see ya. Nice weekend. I think I might need some other percussion to fill in. I mean, I said I wanted to keep it simple and not too many layers. But sometimes when the kick drum goes away, it seems like all of a sudden it's just all gone. In a way, that's good to have that contrast. But all right, so now I've just forced myself into an arrangement for better or for worse, right? I like doing it like that, where instead of building it up carefully piece by piece, I'm just kind of letting it jam out. I mean, it makes sense for this kind of music. It makes sense for techno. It makes sense for electro, where you just want it to groove and not change all that much. And all of the moves that I made in the arrangement are pretty rough, right? And it's large, long sections. I can go back and edit if they're too long, or if I want to add in stuff. But yeah, I can see right here, there's kind of a basic structure, right? There's the intro just with the synth, and then the hi-hats come in, and then the kick drum comes in, and then there's the part with the melodic sequence, and then it goes back to just that drone on that one note, and that one's probably a little bit long, and then we bring the sequence back in, and then we go back to the droning one, and then we break it down to just the drums. So like that's already a pretty good rough outline of the arrangement. Y'all are giving me ideas now. All right, so let's talk about some of these ideas that you're throwing out at me. Luminous Cloud calls it a Zoid love ballad. Maybe if I sing some sad robot song on top of it, maybe we'll do that. But let's come back to that later. May says the snare is anemic. I agree. I mean, it's just this, it's like old school 606 with distortion. So there's a place where we could add an element of energy. I agree with that. So I wouldn't think, yeah, like adding another energy level on top of this. What could we add? What could be cool to go in here and one shots? Oh, look, we're in Live 12 and we've got the crazy browser and this with the search and the tags and everything. Oh, can you hear that? There we go. Oh, no, undo. I just replaced my whole kit. I feel like something like that could be cool. Some kind of zappy sound. Something bright and sharp. I like the beginning of this one, just the very beginning of it, but I don't like the whoa, whoa at the end. So let's fix that. Let's throw in just that little zap. I like the idea of layering other weird noises on top of the snare drum. And that's not anemic anymore. And it's very, very, very electro sounding. I'll probably do some little sound designy mixing things to put some details into that sound eventually, but for now, let's just keep it raw. Thanks, Dry Desert, for sticking up for me. 53 viewers, 13 likes. Address the balance. And yeah, MA says you can't ever go wrong with a rim or a zap. I'm into that. Okay. Oh, what just happened? All right. So we got the zap in there. What else did you guys ask about or suggest? Rim shot pattern could be good. Donks. Y'all want some donks? Hey, since we're adding elements, percussive elements, why don't maybe this is the time to bring out Visco. I did say I was going to do it. All right. So just as a little reminder, this is a new, I don't know, is it AI powered? Is it neural network? Is it buzzword of the moment in terms of computational processing of audio? I've heard this called kind of like a Simplant 2 for drums. You know how in Simplant it's got that AI-based sound recreation thing, like you can drop in a sample and it turns it into, it synthesizes it. It's a little bit different, right? That one's like analyzing it and then using a subtractive and FM synthesis to recreate it using conventional synthesis techniques. This is resynthesis. It's like spectral. It's analyzing the harmonic content and the frequency content, and you know what the pitch is, what the tone is, and what the amplitude is of all those individual frequencies, and then recreates the sample with partials, I think, is what's going on here. So let's see. All right, and it has a bunch of cool presets in it, but as I discovered, you can just drag and drop sounds into it. So let's find some crazy, I mean, I could throw the zap in there. I was wanting to try these, my favorite drum sample pack of all time, this Wave Alchemy synth drums, which, you know, I should probably get some new ones because I keep using these over and over again. But this has some nice sounds, nice, cool sounds, especially for electro. Let's go in and find some percussion or snares or blocks, cowbells, plucks. They're really cool sounds. And these are synthesized sounds. We're going to like re-synthesize the synthesized sounds and do crazy things. So I need to pick a sound that seems like it's going to fit that beat. They're kind of, you were talking about donks. There's some donks in here, I think. Donk-like. All right, I like this as a short, weird sound. And I think we can just drag this in. Can I just drag it in? There it is. All right, so that is the blob. That is the analyzed blob of a sound now. Does that sound? It kind of didn't get it. I mean, it did, but it's like too full in a way. Maybe we need to, you know, we can make this shorter by reducing the time scale. We can transpose the frequency of it. Change the contrast, which emphasizes the most prominent components of the sound. I looked at this last time and I thought, what does that mean? All right, and then density changes the noise balance, but this is like entirely noise, so we're not hearing that much different about it. And then, all right, we're on the kick drum channel of this kit, so we're gonna morph from one sample to another. Let's pick another sound and see if we can morph instead of the huge kick, find something else. All right, let's see. That sounds sort of like a filtered donk. What happens if I drop that in there? There we go. That's nuts. This is going to take a minute, isn't it? To like find a sound that sounds cool, that we can morph, that we can play around with. And usually what I say, especially I'll say this in my synthesis and sound design class, is that like it's easier to figure out what to do with the sound in the musical context. So we need to like start with a rhythm or start with something and then tweak the sound to that. Like if we're going to do, I don't know. Let me get rid of the, I don't know if I want to get rid of the synth while we do this. So I'm trying to imagine like what's a rhythm that I want to do. And also, which note does this start on? Can I even play this thing? There we go. Right now it sounds like a snare. mean, I like that kind of call and response with the snares and the zap. Does this even work? No. I think I like the more filtered kind of sound, but then maybe a different rhythm for that. Something more sparse, less repetitive, or less, you know what I mean. Does that work with the sequence? No. We're gonna it's gonna be forcing it if I try to make this work. We'll see. Maybe it's a pitch thing. We can repitch it, right? We can play around with this. It sounds like a filtered metallic thing now. What is happening to that sound? Yeah, it sounds like it's weird. It's like a bell or like a sample of a ride cymbal tuned down low. There's some really strange stuff going on to this sound. Right, we also see you can play around with the blob. We can squish the blob with our finger. Totally messing it up now. I don't like that. Let's undo. Thankfully, there's an undo. We can switch. Now that's like inverting the frequency range, so it's become something like a hi-hat now. Yeah. We're off the rails, everybody. The sound design process is interrupting my composition process. Does that ever happen to you guys? Still, yeah. I think we need to find some more sounds to play with, and maybe I need to spend some more time learning how to use Visco. Tinkle Tink doesn't like the zaps. I'm sorry. Maybe they're just too loud. Hey, Jean-Paul. What's up? Jean-Paul Bondi's in the house. Is it time to tell everybody? I think it's time. Let's actually, all right. It's already, we're 50 minutes in. And I was going to say this at the top of the show, but let's do it now. So I mentioned that I was going to schedule another Electro feedback session. It is happening. It is happening very soon. Well, very, very soon. Not very, very soon. Now I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted by like the fact that like those sounds and that cool new plugin was like kind of failing me in front of everybody. But yeah, we have. I was talking to Jean-Paul, and he's going to join me as my guest for another feedback session. And you've been around a long time as an electro producer and working in the industry, and you've got a lot of cool stuff that we can talk about. But anyway, we are going to do April 20th, right? That was the date that we talked about. I've actually I scheduled the YouTube stream. I haven't even posted this in the Discord yet, but those of you who are wanting to join in on the next Electro feedback session, that is going to happen just in a few weeks. And if you haven't already joined our Discord, you should. There's a link down below. I believe I made a persistent link. It won't it won't expire. It should lead you to the Selway feedback channel. I made an invite from the Selway feedback channel. If you want to submit a track for feedback, and you're not already in there, click on that link, get on our Discord, go to the Selway feedback channel, and you've got a couple of weeks to do it. And yeah, finally, we're gonna have another Electro feedback session. So I'm really looking forward to that. Having a discussion with Jean-Paul and talking about his music, old and new. And Volsock, right? That's your electro project from back in the day. I've definitely got some tracks from you and Justin Maxwell. So, oh yeah, the tracks on World Electric. I've got a couple of World Electric records in my collection. So, yeah, these guys have been making electro for a while, and Jean-Paul will be on to with his many years of experience to help me go through and listen to your submission. So, looking forward to that. April 20th. Join the Discord. Submit your electro tracks, and yeah, we're gonna post about that. Okay. Let's get back to the track for a couple of minutes before we wrap up for today, and see if I can't bring this around. I was hoping I would find something cool with the Visco more quickly. I think we need to spend some more time with it. All right, but we tried. Let's have a listen and see what we got. I'm gonna give myself a little break on the sub bass for a second and roll off some of that low end. Let's try some of these. All right, we have these. I was talking about like maybe using some of these granular things and cutting them in sometimes. Oh, I want the bass back. I miss it. I know, I just miss it. Okay, so I got my work cut out for me. I really do. Because looking at this arrangement, I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? All right, so we're in here. I'm gonna see if this is working. What I was thinking of doing is cutting in some glitches in this sequence. What is going on? I'm having meltdown here. Oh, the transpose got turned off. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to go in and find some little bits to cut in and out. I like that one. So I think these little fast, glitchy ones could be cool. I'm thinking kind of while I'm looking at this and listening to this and figuring out what to do. This is going to work better if I commit to audio and then do the edits. That's the realization I'm having. And I kind of knew this already. I was thinking, all right, I've got this MIDI track in here, and I've got the real-time synth going with the sequence, and then I'm processing this with granular and turning it into audio. This whole process of editing in the arrangement with the audio is definitely going to work better if I fully commit to the audio. And honestly, this isn't something I do a lot. I actually usually prefer to stick with keeping everything in real time and not doing too much audio on the timeline unless that's the only way, right? Constructing it, and this comes up a lot in class actually here at 343 because I have a lot of students. It's pretty typical for people to never work in the session view in live, build up everything in the arrangement view, and then also a lot of people start with samples. So everything's audio. They're building their drum beats in audio. They're just dragging in loops from Splice and then going in and moving them around and arranging them. And that's a different way of working than I am usually doing. So, but I'm gonna try to force myself into that because I want I'm trying to do some new things. I think that's what this comes down to is in addition to trying to keep this simple in terms of the number of layers that are happening simultaneously, when it comes to the structure and like, this whole idea of taking the synth and turning it into audio with the granular processing and everything, it's going to be building up this arrangement on the timeline with more audio editing. So let's save that for another time. This is an iterative process, right? I'm like starting these sketches on the stream and then I'm working on them in front of you. And, I feel like today could have been a little bit more productive, but I'm for this particular track, I think I like the idea of this direction of trying something new with how I'm arranging it. So let's leave it there. It's just about 2:30. Let's wrap things up. I'm going to thank everybody for hanging out with me today and joining me on this journey and of figuring out what to do with these tracks. I'm going to try again with Visco. I've been playing around with it and I really like it. And there's been some cool demos I've seen of it. I know there's some fun things to do. So I think I am gonna try again with Visco, but I'm gonna just start with just that. It wasn't really working. Adding at least with it would have taken another hour probably to get it working with this. But I think like starting a track with Visco, and maybe we'll look at some of the other new plugins that you guys were mentioning earlier. So that's it for today. Thanks to all. Once again, April 20th, Electro feedback session. Jean-Paul Bondi is joining me. And we're going to check out your stuff and have a good time hanging out. I really love doing the feedback sessions and getting everybody involved and having a guest and the whole thing. So I'll post about that in the Discord. I'll post about it on the social media. And feel free, if you haven't already, to go ahead and get into our Discord, get to the Selway feedback channel, and post your track. But you got time. You've got a couple weeks, right? You've got a little more than that. Okay. Everybody enjoy your holiday weekends. And if you have a holiday weekend, and if not, just enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you next time. Adios.
zone. In the zone you're free to move through the stars. In the zone you see the Zoid never dies.